And certainly trying to use the full width of the pitch.
Ruck cord, hands away cord, carried on playing.
Well, you kind of wonder why they've not played like this in the other games in the Rugby World Cup.
Well, certainly, David, when you look at their results, they lost against South Africa in their opener, 59 points to 7. That was quite a big scoreline. And then the big one, really, you know, they lost against England. We know that, that's history. But Tonga, who hadn't beaten them in 9 previous occasions, and then they came out of a really top draw performance by the Tongans and beat Samoa by 19 points to 15. And I haven't seen any newspaper reports from Tonga, but I bet that was a major day for the whole of the Tongan nation.
Well, as I say, I think they would have discounted their South African match. You know, South Africa looking very strong at the moment and one of the top 3 sides, I think, in this Rugby World Cup. And I just wonder whether Samoa focused too much on England, the match against England that was coming up after the Tongan match, whereas Tonga, you know, in football managers' parlance, took it one match at a time and came away with the result.
Well, that was the Samoan centre, Mapasua. He's brought down the tackle there, but once again Samoa on the break. Good break by the outside half, Tuilangi. The referee asking if Tuilangi was in touch, but certainly his momentum carried him over the line.
Yeah, no question about that. And you know, just an indicator of how much rain we've had down here in Saint-Étienne. He just skidded in there. Great power, just bumping off the challenge of Ngwenya.
Always best to be safe and sorry. There's a trailing leg.
Well, that's Hugh Watkins, the touch judge. Really had a close look, and there was no way that Tuilangi was in touch there. Just lifted his feet out of the way, and I think we just heard Wayne Barnes there say no problem. Let's have another look. Close, but good try.
I beg Ngwenya's pardon. It was Chris Wiles who was brushed aside here. Look at the power of Tuilangi there, and he must have stood a good 5 or 6 meters there to get over. Mind you, a bit of momentum there.
Oh, he did. The big man, very powerful, and big slide as well. He went all of 4 or 5 meters there. So Mr. Barnes just waiting.
Yes, thank you very
TV
much.
official, of course, is Dave Pearson.
Thank you. Okay to award that now. Thank you.
I think the answer is yes. So another Samoan try, and already 10 points to 0 in the lead against the United States. A little bit of a cut there on Tuilangi's right wrist. Of course, he's a huge favourite at Leicester Tigers, along with his brother, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's a bit of a cult hero there. They love to see him doing that sort of thing, banging people off, bumping them around the place and scoring tries.
So way out on that far side, trying to curl it around. Oh, just scraped past the right-hand post there. That was a tremendous kick. So the score rises to 12.
But it was a lovely break in the middle. Here we are, Sapolo. He made all the inroads, and once they were in behind the American defense, no question about it.
So the United States having to restart for the second time inside the first 10 minutes. And as you said earlier on, David, this is a totally different Samoan team than we've seen in any of the 3 World Cup matches previously.
And I'm surprised because, you know, I think they've always had the talent, but they've tried to play more conventional rugby, I think, in their earlier matches. There was a lot of kicking, both against Tonga and against England. And, you know, some of the kicking not particularly well directed. And, you know, when you've got people like Tuilangi out on the wing, you want to bring them into the game as much as possible.
And Chad Erskine there, just waiting for his scrummage to settle down before he put the ball in for the USA.
Right, it's all right. He's already told me. He's already told me that's why I'm going to come this side. Okay. Scrum.
That's Mark Lawrence on this touch line on this side.
Balls. Ready. Ring around, push please, don't run sideways. All the back five ran sideways.
I think that was fairly plain.
That's one of those things. I think you know, for all their ability to run and handle the ball, none of the Pacific Islanders have ever really focused terribly much, I think, on the tight play, which is surprising because they've got big, strong men, particularly in the front row. But here they are under a bit of pressure from the United States, who you'd have to say probably technically a better scrummaging side.
Well, we saw the pack weights earlier on, and there was a 17-kilo advantage to Samoa, so they certainly should be up to the task of holding the USA and even pushing them a little bit off the ball, but technically a little bit naive on occasions. So Mike Hercus, the captain, kicked 5 points against England in the United States' first game in this World Cup, where of course they lost 28 points to 10. So trying to just narrow the gap a little bit after 12 minutes of this first half. Oh, just hooked that one. So no addition to the scoreline. Disappointing start to Mike Hercus's kicking game, and very, very quickly taken on that far side. Into touch.
You've got to be on the line. You've got to be on the line.
Todd Clever looking to try and take a quick line out there, but it's got to be behind where the ball went out rather than in front of it, which is a bit of a problem for him.
Owen Lentz, the American hooker, actually born in South Africa, plays for a club which I think sounds wonderful, the Maryland Exiles. Long throw towards the back, and pretty lucky there. And he missed his marker, but Samoa have stolen it. And all of these forwards can run, let me tell you. There's a good driving run there by Alfie Vaialuga. Captain Semo Satidi looking for the ball, just hunting for it. They switch sides. They certainly are willing to spread it around. Tuilangi, try scorer just a little while ago, back to the fullback Loki Crichton. Big put downfield. Little slip there by the full, particularly good kick, but up towards the 10-meter line.
Well, it is very slippery underfoot. We have had a lot of rain here down in Saint-Étienne, and you can see a lot of players slipping and sliding around the place, making it very difficult. And it's surprising that the Samoan handling is as good as it is.
Yeah, they certainly are. Wasting no time once again as the fullback comes into the line, as he's been doing all evening. Breaks through 2 or 3 tackles. Loki Crichton once more. The support is coming, lays the ball back. Now they can go on the tight side. Tuilangi, of course, is waiting on the wing. Mapasura it was who was tackled there by the United States defence. Wayne Barnes, you may have heard him just say the ball was out. So the Americans have stolen it. So that was a very good opportunity for Samoa, which they wasted, but Mike Hercus
okay, you didn't pull out, you left your shoulder in, and that's why
just after he tried to chip it over the Samoan attackers there.
Well, I think he cited Justin Purdy there.
Oh, dear me.
It looks as though he makes quite a lot of that, Mike Hercus. But he was very late, Justin Purdy, there.
Yeah, as big lad as Justin Purdy, born in Wellington. Or, beg your pardon, he plays his rugby for Wellington, but born in New Zealand. And I guess when you look at the whole of the World Cup, there's a heck of a lot of Samoans playing for all sorts of teams, aren't there? Equally, they really do. I'm not saying they're a sleeping giant, because their population, as we were discussing over a bite to eat earlier on, is pretty small. But they're such an exciting nation. I just wonder, how much attention they pay to the 15-a-side game rather than just the 7-a-side game, where, of course, they're very, very good indeed.
Yeah, I think, it's always a difficult one. There's a lot of criticism for sides like New Zealand and Australia pinching South Sea Islanders, the best of the South Sea Islanders, to come and play for the All Blacks and for the Wallabies. People like Jerry Collins, Rodney Soto-Oyalo, these sorts of fellas. Luaki, Sione Luaki obviously came on against Scotland. All of these guys, South Sea Islanders, and fantastic physical specimens. And you can't blame them for wanting to go and play for the All Blacks. It's probably more fame and fortune playing for them than playing for Samoa or Tonga or Fiji.
So Mike Hercus back on his feet. I think I caught a glimpse there of one of the physiotherapists, Helmut Vasher, who was, I think, attached to the Samoan side. Conditions here certainly haven't worsened since the kick-off, but the pitch is just cutting up a wee bit. There's a poor pass there from Chad Erskine, and really put Chris Wiles, the American fullback, under a bit of pressure there, but that was quite a decent kick.
Yeah, he did well, recovered well there. It was a poor pass to Hercus.
There's Tuilangi, one try, and every time he gets the ball, he's certainly putting the American defence under pressure. Mahonri Shvalga, another Wellington Hurricanes player. Good take by Kane Thompson for Samoa. Just look at the power of the Samoan players. If they can get themselves organised now, they can just roll and push the Americans backwards. They've already gone about 4 or 5 metres. Just a little pop over the top there by Junior Polu. And I was going to say well taken. That was Ngwenya. But just dropped it. The USA, though, should get possession. Now it's America who decide to run it. A little bit of indecision there by Chris Wiles, the fullback, but manages to get out of the tackle by Sapolu, the outside half from Samoa. This should go into touch, which indeed it does.
Well, it was an interesting decision for Mike Hercus to throw that pass out to Chris Wiles. There was no one outside Chris Wiles, so he wasn't going to make a break. And his only option really was to kick the touch or come back inside. Well, I think that went forward, but there we go.
Well taken once again by Samoa. Well, certainly the last couple of lineouts have been committed to catching and driving the USA as much as they can. Justin Purdy just coming around this right-hand side, and that was well spotted by Todd Clever, the American with the long hair and the ponytail, but it's Samoa who come away with it now. Just trying to take it with a bit of momentum was Tuilangi, but just right arm outstretched there, gathered in by Lomi Fa'atu. Tuilangi back in support, but it looks as though the United States will have turned it over, and they will get the scrummage.
Well, good pressure by the US defence there. Again, signals of intent what Samoa wanted to do, and this time it was Tuilangi coming off his wing right outside the centres to take that pass there. Just getting a little bit scrappy.
If he's got there legally, I'll protect him, and I'll protect you if you get there legally. Don't grab his head. Your ball? Red ball.
So the USA through Chad Erskine haven't picked the ball off the base of the scrum yet, using the number 8, Fafita Munga, but we've already seen the American number 8, and there he is. No sooner said than done. I was on to Todd Clever, but just popped out of his hands there. He's looking around the blind side, but goes close. Forwards take it on a metre. And the Samoans just not letting the Americans settle.
No, it's very competitive at the contact area. Samoa obviously trying to slow down American ball, like getting the tackler in to try and rip ball away. The Americans just unable to clear out quick enough to get the quick ball and release their backs. Haven't seen too much of the American backs so far.
No, not a great deal. And the American on this side of the scrum in the front row there, Mike McDonald, who's recently signed for the newly formed Leeds Carnegie team up in the north of England. Used to be Leeds Tykes, of course, but now owned by Leeds Metropolitan University. So consequently named after the old physical education college that used to be at Leeds, but United States penalised their free kick given to Samoa.